What's up, everyone? I'm back here for another video. Happy Friday, happy Black Friday. So I wanted to kind of come on here and make a video about a common question that I've been getting, or a common struggle that traders have been having, and that is that their losers are much larger than their winners. So today was actually a really good trading day for me. Made about $2,500 trading today, and I had one good trade and one bad trade. One was a winning trade, one was a losing trade. Now, for most new traders, if they had a similar scenario where, they had two trades, one was good, one was bad, it might have even canceled each other out. Whereas, let's say you made $100 here, you lost $100 there, you would have been break even on the day, or your losing trade might have been bigger than your winning trade. But today, my winning trade was a lot larger than my losing trade. So I'm going to talk about all that stuff, guys. So first things first is I want to explain how you can make sure that your wins are significantly larger than your losses. Now, in trading, you have to remember that your trades are not always the same exact thing. You're not always going to have the exact same setup every single day. So that means that you're not going to use the exact same size every single day. Now, the way trading works is you bet your size on the opportunity in front of you. So let's say an A plus setup is 1,000 shares, a B setup is 500 shares, a C setup is 100 shares, a D setup is 10 shares. Okay, just basic math to do that. It's not to scale, it's not supposed to be linear. I'm just trying to give you an example of what you should bet based on your edge and based on your setup. Now, is every single day going to have an A plus setup, a 1,000 share setup? No. Is every day going to have a B setup? Maybe, but there's probably going to be a lot of C setups every single day. So what I've been seeing that a lot of traders have been doing is they've been using the A plus size on the C setups. So if you find yourself using the same exact size for every single stock, you are doing it wrong. You must size in, you must bet based on the opportunity in front of you. So let me give you an example. My most profitable setup is the first red day setup. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars on AMC, on GME, on DATS, OCGN. I made a lot of money on this first red day setup, BBBY. And just to give you an example, my day-to-day size is anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 shares. When a first red day setup comes, when an A plus setup comes, my bet size increases to 100,000, 150,000 shares. So look at the skew. Look at the difference between share size based on the opportunity. What I'm seeing a lot of traders doing, and that's why I want to come on here and make this video, is I'm seeing you guys use the exact same size that you would use on a C setup that you are using normally on an A plus setup. That is why your losses are significantly higher than your wins, because you are trading as if every single stock is the same exact setup. Now, what if you don't know what your best setup is? What if you don't know what an A setup is, a B setup is, a C setup is for your own trading? Okay. Say you don't know what your best setup is. That right there is a signal that you are not yet ready to size in yet. If you do not know your best setup, if you do not know what you're the best at, chances are you're still a little bit new to trading. You have not gone back, looked at your stats, and seen what you make the most money on. So just for me, based on my trading, I know that I make the most amount of money on a first red day setup. The second setup that I make the most money on is a sell the new setup. The third setup is a short into resistance. So let's say just A, B, C setups, right? First red day, sell the news, short into resistance. I'm not using 150,000 shares on the on the short into resistance. I'm using maybe 10,000 shares, something like that. So if you find yourself losing more than you make, chances are your bet size is not being adjusted, okay? The example that I give is bow at Disney World, okay? So let's say we're gonna make a bet that Bao is going to get drunk today. If Bao goes to Disney World, I would say there's a 50% chance he's going to get drunk. But if Bao's going to the club, there's a bottle of Hennessy in front of him, and there's a couple cute Asian girls with short skirts on, I know there's a 100% chance that Bao is going to get drunk that day. And that setup, that opportunity is my 150,000 share opportunity. That's my A+ setup. That's the setup that I know has a high probability of working. And that is why I'm going to size in abnormally larger on that setup. So it's the same thing in trading. Today, I had a short into resistance setup on DBGI. I shorted it into resistance. I made about $3,000. There was another stock that was moving today. It was kind of like a pump and dump. It wasn't really doing anything. It was kind of flat, no volume. Stock had no volume. Stock wasn't really volatile. Stock wasn't moving. So I just got out for a loss. I made $3,000 on DBGI. I lost $500 on the other stock because I used more size on DBGI because it was more optimal than the secondary stock that I was watching. So to recap and review this, if your losses are significantly larger than your wins, chances are you are using the same exact size for every setup. Identify which setups you make the most money on. Categorize them. A setup, B setup, C setup. When you see that setup showing up in the market and you have a clear idea of what type of setup that is, that will dictate how much size you could use. Now, it's not as linear as, let's say, you use 100 shares, use 500 shares, and then use 1,000 shares. It all depends personally on you. For me, the way it works is a C setup is about, let's start with a D setup. A D setup is 1 to 5,000 shares. A C setup is 5 to 10,000 shares. A B setup is, I don't know, up to 20,000 shares. An A setup would be about 150,000 shares. So depending on the type of setup that you have, guys, you could categorize, you could tier it out, you could kind of just, decide what you're doing. But the key is to make sure that your bet size is based on the opportunity in front of you. So for me, I am patiently waiting for a first red day. I am patiently waiting for a sell the news day. They're not going to come every single day. They're not going to be here every single day. So I am not allowed to size every single day. Now, in addition to that, if you find yourself losing more than you are winning, chances are you are not stopping out properly. What ends up happening is on a winning trade, we just try to take the money as fast as possible because we don't want to turn it into a loss. And then our losing trades, we end up babysitting for longer and longer and longer, praying and hoping that they're going to come back. So again, easier said than done, but let your winners ride, cut your losers off. If you need help cutting your losers off, set a max loss auto liquidation at the broker level and use hard market stops. But the main topic of this video is to size in based on the opportunity in front of you. Make sure your bet size is very, very, very abnormally high for the good setups and very, very, very abnormally low for the bad setups, right? So I hope this video helps. It is Black Friday. The market's going to close here in about an hour. Had a pretty solid day, and just wanted to let you guys know that we are still running our Black Friday promotion. You get to get 60% off your membership. We plan on raising our prices next year due to inflation. But this is the lessons that you guys are going to be learning from professional traders. I've been trading for about 8 years now, guys. 8 years. And these lessons, like changing your bet size based on the opportunity, will take you 8 years to learn. Or you could just join, get the shortcut, and find your way to reaching consistent profitability. And in addition, for this Black Friday sale, guys, it's on myinvestingclub.com/Black Friday. We are hosting a live trading event on the week of December 5th for lifetime members. So you get to watch me, you get to watch Bao trade live on screen share on Zoom. You guys get to trade with us. And yeah, that's going to be for lifetime members. So if you guys have any questions, just reach out to me on Slack, leave a comment. But we are kind of going to be wrapping up the Black Friday sale very soon. And if you're curious, try out the monthly, see if it's for you. But aside from all that, guys, thank you. I hope this video helps. I hope that you guys are learning something, and I hope that, hey, during these times, you're taking advantage of the awesome opportunities in the market. Yeah, it's not what it used to be, but hell, if I'm still showing up and making $2,500 a day, I'm pretty sure the math on that is close to about $600,000 or $700,000 a year. So if you could show up consistently, make $2,000, $2,500 a day, which is pretty freaking simple, you're on track to make $500,000 a year. So I'll see you guys back in the room. I hope this video helps, and have a good Black Friday. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and I will see you at myinvestingclub.com/Black Friday. Thanks, guys.